Carlos Ray Chuck Norris, born on March 10, 1940, in Ryan, Oklahoma, is not just a name, but a legend whose life journey reads like a Hollywood script written with grit, muscle, and heart. Raised in a humble background, he was the eldest of 3 boys born to Wilma and Ray D. Norris, a World War II veteran who struggled to find his way after the war. His family lineage carried a rich mix of Irish and Cherokee roots, yet the cultural color didn't cushion the hard blows of a fractured home. When Chuck was just 16, his parents' marriage collapsed. His father, often unemployed and consumed by alcoholism, would vanish for months, leaving Chuck and his 2 younger brothers, Wieland and Aaron, in emotional and financial turmoil. That instability forced the family to move, eventually settling in Torrance, California. Chuck described himself back then as anything but extraordinary, shy, introverted, unathletic, and average in school. But behind those quiet eyes and timid shoulders, a warrior spirit lay dormant, waiting to be awakened. At 18, he joined the United States Air Force, hoping to find a sense of direction and purpose. It was during his service as an air policeman in South Korea that he stumbled upon martial arts. What began as curiosity quickly turned into a passion that would redefine his destiny. He immersed himself in Tang Soo Do, eventually earning black belts not only in it, but also in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Judo. With relentless discipline and an unbreakable mindset, Chuck returned to the United States and threw himself headfirst into competitive karate. In 1968, he rose to national prominence by clinching the professional middleweight karate title, a belt he defended for 6 consecutive years, a feat few could match. The martial arts scene became his playground, but Hollywood was his destiny. With his championship status in hand, Chuck moved to Los Angeles and opened martial arts studios, attracting celebrity students like Steve McQueen, Donny Osmond, and Priscilla Presley. His charisma and unique blend of athleticism and stoicism quickly caught the attention of casting agents. That same year, 1968, he made his film debut in The Wrecking Crew, a lighthearted spy spoof. But it wasn't until 1972, when Bruce Lee invited him to star as the main villain in The Way of the Dragon, that Norris truly broke into cinema. Their iconic fight scene at the Colosseum in Rome became legendary, not just for the raw martial artistry, but for showcasing the unlikely rise of a clean-cut, all-American martial artist as a formidable on-screen presence. Through the late 70s and early 80s, Chuck Norris carved out a niche in action cinema. With films like Good Guys Wear Black, A Force of One, The Octagon, and An Eye for an Eye, he became a household name, the silent storm of justice who didn't need many words, just a roundhouse kick to get the message across. Studios took notice, and Cannon Films signed him to a multi-film deal. The Missing in Action series launched in 1984, bringing explosive Vietnam War-themed action that resonated with patriotic audiences. Films like Invasion USA, The Delta Force, and The Hitman cemented his image as a freedom-loving hero battling against communism and corruption. He wasn't just an action star. He was an emblem of American resolve. In the midst of these big-screen battles, Chuck didn't forget his roots. He founded his own martial arts discipline, the Chuck Norris system, a blend of various styles and philosophies. As much as he was the tough guy on screen, behind the scenes he was a deeply thoughtful man of faith, discipline, and resilience. By the early 1990s, his stardom shifted from cinema to television, where he took on the title role of Walker, Texas Ranger, a series that ran from 1993 to 2001, and became a cultural staple. Each episode combined moral lessons, high-octane fight scenes, and cowboy justice, showing audiences that Chuck Norris wasn't just acting, he was delivering a message. After Walker, Chuck continued acting through the early 2000s, though many projects went straight to video. Then, in 2012, he made a thunderous return to the big screen with a cameo in The Expendables 2, proving that even in his 70s, Chuck Norris was still a force to be reckoned with. Beyond entertainment, Chuck Norris became an influential voice in American culture. He is a New York Times best-selling author, writing books on martial arts, health, Christianity, politics, and even Western-themed fiction. His words carried weight, not just punches, but in 2005, something unexpected happened. The internet turned him into a mythical figure. Chuck Norris facts exploded online. Absurd, hilarious, and wildly exaggerated claims about his superhuman strength and invincibility. Statements like, Chuck Norris doesn't sleep, he waits, and Chuck Norris counted to infinity, twice turned into viral gold. While Chuck didn't create these memes, he embraced them with good humor, appearing on talk shows like Late Night with Conan O'Brien and endorsing products based on these facts. The phenomenon spun off books, video games, and kept his name relevant with younger generations who hadn't even seen his movies. In a world of fleeting fame, Chuck Norris remained timeless. But behind all the fists and fame lies a deeply personal story. His brother Wieland, who once predicted he wouldn't live past 27, tragically died in Vietnam at that very age. That loss shaped Chuck's patriotism and gave his roles in military-themed films an emotional anchor. His life hasn't just been about punches and power. It's about rising from trauma, pushing through pain, and fighting for something greater than yourself. He turned a painful childhood and quiet beginnings into a legacy of action, honor, and humility. Off-screen, he has been involved in numerous charitable efforts supporting law enforcement, military families, and youth development programs. In his later years, Chuck has lived quietly with his family, stepping back from Hollywood but never far from the public eye. His marriage to Gina O'Kelly brought him personal joy, and he's often spoken about the importance of faith, family, and perseverance in interviews and speeches. Today, Chuck Norris isn't just an actor or a martial artist, he's a symbol of strength, of standing up for what's right, and of defying the odds. His story reminds us that no matter where you come from, whether it's a broken home, a small town, or a place of self-doubt, you can rise. You can become more. He didn't become a legend because he was invincible. He became one because he faced life's punches and got back up every time. So, if you've ever been underestimated, overlooked, or overwhelmed, remember the boy from Oklahoma who couldn't throw a ball, didn't fit in, and watched his family fall apart. And then remember what he became. Thank you for watching this journey through the life of the unstoppable Chuck Norris. If his story inspired you, if it reminded you to fight for your dreams no matter how impossible they seem, please give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment about your favorite Chuck Norris moment, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible biographies and life stories that move you, motivate you, and maybe even make you chuckle. And remember, there's only one Chuck Norris, but the fighter in you might just be the next legend.